Aspects in astrology. This subject is a major component when putting everything together. From previous lessons, we learned about the zodiac signs, which are the archetypes of astrology that coincide with the Earth's rotation around the sun. Every 30 degrees of that journey, the sun goes into a new sign, which is also related to the four seasons. Then we have the houses, which correlate with the Earth's rotation on its axis. There are 12 houses, and every 2 hours a new sign enters a house. 12 times 2 equals 24, which are the amount of hours in a day. Then we learned about the planets, which are the moving parts in astrology. Each planet having a certain energy enters the houses and the signs, which give different meaning to each position. All this is a beautiful thing. Planets are everywhere, the houses and signs are interacting, and a lot of information is being presented. But the question is, how are all these components related? What has hierarchy over the other? What is in harmony? What is in conflict? This is where aspects come into the picture. So what are aspects? Aspects are specific degrees of separation between planets. Also between planets and the cusps of 2 of the 4 angular houses, the ascendant and the midheaven. There is 360 degrees in a circle, so they could be 360 different aspects between planets and other astrological components. Out of those 360, there are 5 major aspects and 5 minor aspects that astrology deals with. Before we break down the different aspects, we have to talk about orbs. What is an orb? An orb is the leniency allowed from the degrees of exactitude of an aspect. For example, a square aspect is 2 planets separated by 90 degrees. Well, if that's off by 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 degrees, that aspect is still considered a square. Say you have the sun with a square aspect to Jupiter at 87 degrees. That aspect will be called a square with a 3-degree orb. Now the larger the orb, the weaker the aspect. The smaller the orb, the stronger the aspect. Now only a certain amount of degrees can be allowed within the orb. When dealing with the major aspects, an orb can be up to 6 degrees. And when dealing with the minor aspects, an orb can be up to 3 degrees. If the sun or moon is involved with the aspect, then the orb can be up to 8 degrees. The first aspect is the conjunction, which is 0 degrees or 360 degrees, which is one and the same when dealing with a circle. When planets are right next to each other, they are in conjunction. This aspect is widely considered the most intense aspect, amplifying the strength of all the planets involved. Hopefully the planets in conjunction with each other have compatible energies. Like if the moon and Jupiter are in conjunction, that could be a beautiful thing. But let's say Neptune and Mars are in conjunction, that could cause a problem. The sextile aspect is 2 planets separated by 60 degrees. The 2 planets involved in this aspect will have smooth relationship with each other. The effects will be subtle but good. Communication and creativity can emerge from this union. The square aspect is when 2 planets are 90 degrees apart. The 2 planets that are involved in a square will be in conflict with each other. These are energies within that need to be worked out for a successful outcome. Look at the houses where the planets are located, and that will tell you what areas in your life these annoyances are taking place. The trine aspect is when 2 planets are 120 degrees apart from each other. This aspect brings good luck and opportunity. The energy between the planets involved with this aspect will be smooth and natural. Creativity and talents are enhanced when this aspect is in transit with the planets in your birth chart. The opposition aspect is when 2 planets are 180 degrees from each other, or directly across from each other. This aspect is saying that the 2 planets involved are opposing each other and are having a hard time dealing with each other. This aspect is also saying that you have to go back and forth with these planetary energies in order for it to work. using one at a time. Okay, now let's talk about the minor aspects. The semi-sextile minor aspect is when two planets are 30 degrees apart. This aspect creates a similar effect as a sextile major aspect, but milder. This aspect brings harmony, ease, and fluidity. The effects of this aspect are so mild they could go unnoticed. The semi-square aspect is when two planets are 45 degrees apart from each other. This aspect creates energy similar to the square aspect but milder. This creates minor altercations, irritations, and conflicts within the self. The sesquiquadrate aspect is when two planets are 135 degrees apart from each other. This aspect also causes minor friction and inconveniences, but outside the self. The quincunx aspect is when two planets are 150 degrees apart from each other. This aspect brings unpredictability, shock, humor, imbalance, and things of that nature. These qualities can be negative or positive depending on the person and the situation. The quintile aspect is when two planets are 72 degrees apart from each other. This aspect is known to bring creative inspiration, uniqueness, and individuality. This aspect has positive effects between the two planets involved. For a text version of this information, go to my website at suprememoonbeam.com. You will also find the glyphs for the aspects, which are the symbols. Thanks for checking out this video. Supreme Moonbeam. Peace.